when you're sharing a book with a child, don't worry about the words. It's not the words that's important. When your baby is very small, it's this interaction. It's a bonding between you and your child. And the book is like a third person in the conversation. Book Start is a beautifully simple idea. It's that if you give a baby a love of books from when they're very tiny, and you give them confidence with books, then that child will grow to have a familiarity with books. They will really enjoy them. And as they go from being a baby to be a toddler, their language skills will develop, their listening skills will develop. As they grow into being about 3, they will become more confident communicators. When they start school, they'll have a big advantage because they will feel familiar with stories and with songs and with rhymes. And the benefit that they have from having that early introduction to books will last them the whole of their lives. So that's a very simple way of encapsulating what we do with Book Start. Well, with Book Start, we give every parent in the United Kingdom gets a Book Start bag, which is a bag of free books. And it also has a book in there to guide parents with tips and ideas about what you might like to do with your child in order to give them this love of books. So some of the ideas will be very simple. Obviously, if you're going to encourage your child to love books, it helps if they see you enjoying books yourself, or newspapers or magazines. It's not important about reading. You're not trying to make your baby read, but you're trying to give them this love, this engagement with the story. So don't get fazed about the text. It's not about that. Don't get hung up on it. Don't get anxious, because if you do, that will communicate to your baby and it will turn into a chore, which is not what we're trying to do. It's not meant to be hard work. It's meant to be a pleasure. So the other things that we would say is, don't only save books until bedtime. Bedtime's a wonderful time to read stories. That's absolutely fine. You know, you're going to enjoy reading a story at bedtime, but they're not just for bedtime. And sometimes during the day you can have a really noisy story with lots of actions in as well, which your baby's really going to enjoy too, and your toddler will enjoy. So don't just save them for one time. When you're going out shopping, take a book with you. Always have a book, because it will be a good distraction for your baby if it gets fretful. If you're trying to share a book with your baby and they don't want to be bothered, don't force the issue. Just leave it until another time. You know, it's not a race. You're not trying to make your baby to the cleverest child, you know, before it gets to school. That's not what it's about. Take your child along to the library. I don't know what libraries are like in Spain, but in England, libraries are very open places. We encourage babies and children and families to come into libraries and to make a lot of noise. It's not shh, be quiet anymore. It's come in and enjoy this library, because this library is your space. So for a parent, if you take your child along to a library, what you're saying to them is, all of these books are here for you to enjoy. It's a very good experience for a child to know that they can read that book and then they must take it back and somebody else will borrow the book. It helps them to understand the responsibility of that. And also buy books as presents. For somebody to own a book is very special. It's nice for you to have something which belongs just to you. So I think if you have a household where stories are something which is very normal, very natural, something which you enjoy all of the time, every day, that's probably the best way to give your children the confidence that they're going to need it when they go into school. It's about building a loving relationship with your child where you're able to experience stories together and enjoy them together.